All right, Casey, I'm so excited that we get to chat today. And the first thing that I wanted to ask you is, how did you get into franchising?
Oh, wow. So, having been a career coach for a very long time, and I was working in academics, you always say it's the power of your network. And so it was someone within my network, former college grad, that we had worked together, brought me into franchising for a potential job. Thankfully, the leadership there at that organization took a chance with me. And so I landed on the franchisor side. So I spent close to 2 years working for a franchisor on the leadership team and learned a lot during that time, even became a franchise owner. So I tell people when I'm giving them my journey that I tripped and fell, had no intentions, it just happened, but it's been one of the best trip and falls that I've ever made.
That's awesome. I love that trip and fall. So how would you say that your past experience helps you now as a franchise coach?
Yeah. So I've done my stint in the corporate space in sales and marketing. Like I mentioned, I work in the world of academics for almost a decade. But toward the end of that time, I spent 5 years as a career coach working with MBA students. And so a lot of that, I found a passion and a love for helping people find kind of their goals and aspirations. And through that, it really made me think about what's my purpose? How do you find that career that really gives back and lets you live your life that you want? So transitioned that into an experience within franchising, and being a franchise owner. I decided to marry all of those skills together, that corporate experience, that career coaching, so that I can really help people on that journey to find a business of their dreams so that they can live the life they want.
That's amazing, Casey. I love that. So what would you say that your favorite part of working with clients is?
Ooh, wow. I really think it's that aha moment where they are really, you're navigating a journey that you probably haven't done before. You have no idea what's out there because there's so many opportunities within franchising. And so part of that role and getting to know them and find franchises that fit them is huge. So when they get excited after that first call or two about the opportunity, and they're allowed to align with their why, like that is what I love about this job. You see their excitement, you hear their excitement, and really you're just helping make sure that stays throughout the course. And that's when you know they're making a really good decision and you're supporting that for them.
Absolutely. That sounds very gratifying.
Very much so.
So for somebody who is considering owning a franchise, why would you suggest that they work with FranCoach?
Oh, yes. Well, one, we're awesome. So, but really, I kind of found FranCoach again through my network, and it really does feel like a family. Like we are all experienced within franchising, but then our founder and leader really has a beautifully designed process where we can really help people take step by step, hold their hands so that they feel confident throughout the entire journey. And so being a part of that one family where we all are kind of experts in our own right, but we can all work together to make sure that we're helping our clients really find the fit. And I'll probably say that a couple times today, but I think that's part of FranCoach, like
Absolutely.
experts, and we really are here to hold your hand and help you along the way.
Absolutely. Now, as you're at FranCoach and you're working with a bunch of clients and helping people find their why, find the perfect business for them, what advice do you have for soon-to-be franchise owners like your clients?
Oh, yes. So I think there's a couple things. Someone said this to me one time, and it really is kind of a foundation. A lot of folks say, hey, show me a franchise that has the most profit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you'll hear me say fit finds money. And that's part of it, right? The business has to fit you and who you are. Who you want to work with, who do you want to have on your team, what's that day in the life? I say it's the get out of bed test. So if you find the right fit and that's done well, you'll find money. And so I think that's a real big piece that I tell folks, that you're going to be successful if you have the drive and you have the right fit. But also for those new owners, business isn't easy. And so to always go back to your why. Why did you want to get into business for yourself? Why was franchising there? And a lot of folks say, they don't want to work in the corporate space anymore. They want to be tied to their own goals. They want to be in charge of their own outcomes. And so really just always go back to that why when you start getting in there and it starts getting grindy and meaty. And, it's kind of crazy, but you'll be successful if you keep going back to that purpose.
Absolutely. That's excellent advice, Casey. And I hope that every single person who watches this takes that advice.
Hope so too.
Now, just to give people who are watching a little peek into behind the scenes, Casey, I do have a fun little question for you that has nothing to do with franchising. Casey, I want to ask you about your brush with fame. Who is the most famous person you have ever met? And of course, we're going to need to hear the story behind it.
Well, I will tell you a funny story. I was young. I went to a concert one time. And it was Tim McGraw, and my friend and I had seats, and our other friends were sitting up in the lawn, and we just so happened before he came on, we were like, let's go into the lawn, meet with our friends. And on our way back, Tim McGraw was coming down like the middle section to go on stage. And I remember thinking, like, when you see people on TV and they see these like stars and they start crying and acting a fool. Well, I was that person and never thought I would. And so I'm like clamoring over security guards to like try and touch Tim McGraw because he was right there. And we get back to our seats, which I did get to touch him. So like, but get back to our seats and I'm like crying like a schoolgirl of like, like how personal. So anyway, I didn't get to have a conversation with him, but yes, I was that psycho fan that thought that he didn't exist in real life, but I got to touch him and he does exist in real life. And so yeah, I think that's the funniest thing I can come up with right now in the moment.
That's amazing. So how long did it take for you to wash that hand again that you touched Tim McGraw with?
I don't know. I think I moved past it, but at the same time, still to this day, I was like, wow, I really acted a fool. But you just never know. The emotions hit you in the moment, and you're just like, oh, there they are.
That's incredible. Well, I'm lucky to know someone who has touched Tim McGraw. That's perfect, Casey. And then I just have one more for you just for fun, but I would like to know from you, which FranCoacher would you most like to trade hair with?
Okay, so it definitely will not be Tim. I'm trying to keep as much hair as I have here. I'm going to have to go with Katie. Like, I actually just I love her curls.
Katie has great hair. So if you just watched this video, you should go over and watch Katie's video so that you can see what we're talking about.
I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Casey. I really appreciate it.